$300 million in the bank, and you take the subway. Not as a stunt, not for a role, not because your publicist thought it would be relatable content, just because that's your thing. Today we're looking at some of Hollywood's wealthiest actors who apparently never got the memo that you're supposed to blow it all. No private jets, no gold-plated anything. Just genuinely, bewilderingly rich people living like your most responsible aunt. Let's get into it. The Subway Millionaire. We start with Keanu Reeves, worth an estimated $380 million. And for a significant stretch of his life, he didn't own a house. Not a modest house, not a normal house. Any house. He stayed in hotels, rented small apartments. A man who could purchase a private island chose to live like he was between leases. And it gets better. People spot him on the New York City subway regularly. Not as a bit, not as a PR move, just riding it like a person. There's footage of him quietly giving up his seat to other passengers while being one of the wealthiest people on the train by several $100 million. Why? Because Keanu genuinely does not think about money the way most people do. He gives huge chunks of it away. Children's hospitals, cancer research. He famously handed a significant portion of his Matrix earnings directly to the special effects and costume crews because he felt they'd earned it more than he had. He is worth $380 million, and his primary concern is whether the guy doing wire rigging got paid fairly. Keanu Reeves is not a person. He is a myth that somehow learned to act. The frugal Oscar winner. Jennifer Lawrence won an Academy Award, became one of the highest paid actresses in Hollywood off the back of The Hunger Games, and celebrated by continuing to drive a secondhand Chevy Volt and staying in her regular apartment. No mansion shopping, no luxury car upgrade, no sudden reinvention of her lifestyle. She kept the car, kept the apartment, kept clipping coupons, which is a sentence that should not apply to someone with 8 figures in the bank, and yet. Her reasoning is actually pretty simple. She was raised to be careful with money. Fame didn't rewire her brain. The habits that kept her grounded before the Oscar are the exact same habits keeping her grounded after it. And here's the uncomfortable truth Jennifer Lawrence represents. Your spending habits aren't really about your income. They're about your mindset. Her mindset is apparently, I found a good deal on this and I see no reason to change. Honestly, respect. Watch your wallet. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are, together, the kind of wealthy that makes other wealthy people feel bad about themselves. And Mila's relationship with money is genuinely fascinating. Because it is strict. She grew up in Ukraine. Her family immigrated to the US. Money was tight early on, and that experience never left her system. Even after becoming one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, the habits formed in those early years didn't budge. Here's the example that gets me every time. When she and Ashton got married, she didn't want a diamond ring, didn't want anything flashy. She bought her wedding band online for under $100, not because they couldn't afford otherwise, because she didn't see the point. And then there's the parenting philosophy. She and Ashton have both said publicly they don't plan to leave their fortune to their kids. The kids are going to have to figure it out themselves, like everyone else, which, depending on your perspective, is either incredibly principled parenting or a commitment they made in interviews that their kids are going to have thoughts about someday. Either way, Mila Kunis has more money than most people will see in several lifetimes, and she is out here teaching her children that money doesn't grow on trees. Respect. Saving for a rainy day. Halle Berry has had one of the longest, most decorated careers in Hollywood. Estimated net worth, around $90 million. And she shops at regular grocery stores. No luxury car collection. No status jewelry. No conspicuous anything. She lives quietly, spends carefully, and has been doing it her entire career. Her reasoning is one of the most clear-eyed takes on Hollywood you'll ever hear. The industry is unpredictable. You can have a massive hit and then not work for 2 years. She's seen it happen. She's been in the game long enough to know the game can turn on you. So she saves like the next job might not come, even when she's at the top. That's not pessimism. That's someone who has been paying attention. While other celebrities are buying their 3rd vacation home, Halle Berry is quietly building a cushion and keeping her options open. She'll be fine when the industry hits a rough patch, and she knows it. The actual lesson. Here's what's interesting about all 4 of these people. Their money habits aren't really about money. They're about identity. Keanu doesn't want wealth to define him. Jennifer doesn't want it to change her. Mila doesn't want it to spoil her kids. Hallie doesn't want it to make her careless. The common thread? None of them let the number in their bank account become the most interesting thing about them, which, given how easily it could, is genuinely remarkable. You don't need $380 million to take something from that. You just need to figure out what your money is actually for, and then not let it run you in the meantime. Rich people who could be insufferable, but aren't. Always a good watch. Which of these surprised you most? Drop it in the comments below. We read all of them. And if you want more of this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got a lot more coming. See you in the next one.